going to start creating a picture with my skin color. So I have some different paints here. Some of them, these darker ones, have more pigment and the lighter ones have less. So let me see if I can find the right one that matches my skin. I'm going to try the one with a lot of pigment. Let's see. That's for a lot of pigment. I don't know. How about this one with a little bit less pigment? It's a little bit lighter. Let me try that. No, that's not right. Okay, I'm gonna go with this light one here. That has less pigment. And it looks a little bit more like me. Maybe I can even, sometimes when I try and find something that matches my skin, I do some blending. So I've added a little bit more peach. And I think that's pretty close. This is paint pigment. More pigments in this and less pigments on this side. But did you know that it's very, very similar with people? Our bodies make pigment. Come on over to the green screen with me and I'll show you. So this word, melanin, is what we call pigment that our body makes. If our body has a lot of melanin, we're gonna have a dark pigment. Similar to if you've got a lot of pigment in a paint, it's going to be a darker paint color. If your body doesn't have very much melanin, you're going to have lighter skin, less pigment. So if you think about the earth right here with kind of this belt that you see in the middle, that tells you a little bit about how your ancestors, how much pigment they would have needed in their skin, their pigment or melanin. So if your people a long, long time ago came from the parts in the middle, kind of the belt zone, they're closer to where the sun shines all the time. And so their body started creating more and more pigment or more and more melanin. And what it does is it protects them from getting a sunburn. But if your family or your ancestors from a long, long, long time ago came from the parts that are not as close to that belt in the middle, they came from the upper parts or even from the far down parts over here, they're not going to need as much melanin or pigment in their skin because there's not as much sunshine where they are from. And so they don't have to worry about sunburns very much. Now it's different these days because people can go on boats and airplanes and trains and travel all over the place. But a long time ago, before they had all those things, they just didn't really travel as much. Now you see people with all different types of melanin in their skin everywhere in the world. So if you're looking at me and you're wondering, I wonder where Teacher Kathleen's ancestors come from. One way that you can tell is by looking at my skin. I don't have a lot of pigment. And I'll tell you, I do know where my family came from. It's this little tiny island in the Atlantic Ocean called Ireland. It's a great place, not a lot of sunshine. But now that I'm here, I get a little bit more sunshine, and so I wear sunscreen when I go out so that I don't get a sunburn, and same with the people in my family. And what about when people have more pigment? Well, if you think about Solway, who we've been reading about a lot, she had a lot of pigment in her skin. And so her ancestors would have come from someplace that was closer to that warmer part in the middle of the earth and near where the sun shines all the time. So she doesn't need as much sunscreen. She has a lot of pigment or melanin in her skin. And so there you have it. That's the story of melanin. And I hope that you all love your skin because your skin is what makes you so beautiful, and it has a little bit of history from your own ancestors that you get to carry around with you every day. Take care of yourselves, love yourselves, and happy Black Lives Matter Week from Teacher Kathleen. Bye-bye, friends.